from Washington is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, there's a few things going on here. One, you have an American family, hard-working American families, who are working hard every day to juggle their lives, to provide for their families, to provide for their children. They're trying to make ends meet, to put food on the table and clothes on their backs. And what happens is this Obamacare 30-hour rule could seriously jeopardize all of those efforts. 30 hours instead of 40 hours. Secondly, under Obamacare, employers are already cutting workers' hours just to avoid the employer mandate. So there's another burden that's placed on our employees and our employers. Third, now the law is changing the standard definition of a full-time employee to someone who works 30 or more hours rather than 40 or more hours. Workers are taking home less pay each month as a result of that. Instead of having 38 hours of pay, they might have 28 hours of pay or 15 hours, or maybe they just lose their jobs, Mr. Speaker. Much of that impacted workforce would be in restaurants, retailers, and hospitality and businesses. 89% of those who would be impacted do not have college degrees. So talk about helping those who need help. This bill, Obamacare's reduction of 30 hours to, from 40 hours to 30 hours, doesn't help those people. People who have college degrees are going to be hurt the worst, and over 50% do not even have high school diplomas. If they lose their jobs, there may not be somewhere else for them to turn. The Save America Workers Act would prevent this from happening. It would save jobs, and it would provide relief for everyday Americans from the enormous tax burden of Obamacare, repealing $63.4 billion of tax increases. I know this is right for my constituents in Washington State, and I urge my colleagues to support this legislation today. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Pennsylvania reserves his time, and the gentleman from Washington is recognized.
I reserve the balance of my time, Mr. Speaker.
Continues to reserve. The gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd also